How are you? I just want to make sure first my voice is clear. You hear me? You can hear me? Okay, yes. Okay, Raf Al-Attas said yes. Okay, okay. Thank you. We start. Uh, we start now. I just want to announce first that you will have LMS online activity 1, which will be Thursday, this coming Thursday, date October 8th. October 8th, you will have activity 1 at 1 o'clock p.m. 1 o'clock afternoon, okay? 1 o'clock p.m. And it will be for 20 minutes. For 20 minutes. You will be given 10 questions, multiple choice question, 10 multiple choice questions, which include or cover book number 1, book 1, chapter 2, 3, 4, 3 chapters, 2, 3, 4, okay? So please do not miss it. You should be there. Total mark for the first activity will be 14 marks, 14 marks, and you will have this semester 2 activities, each 14 marks, okay? And there is no makeup for any activities. So if you miss it, you will miss the 14 marks, okay? So please try to be there. Make sure that you will be there and get into the LMS, okay? And you will find the announcement in the LMS as well, okay? Clear? Okay, now we finish book 1 and we start book 2, managing retail stores. This is about managing retail store, and it's an introduction to retail management and marketing. Okay, book 2, managing retail store, and it has 4 sessions we concern about. Session 2, which is we cover it today. Session 2, which is aspects of retail manager's role, and session 3, managing the workforce, and session 4, managing customers, and then session 5, managing a retail store. So we still in session 2, aspects of a retail manager rules, and we have the outline here. First, we will talk about what are we managing. When we say managing real store, what are we managing? So we would answer this question, what are we managing? And secondly, we will talk about some skills of the store managers and job design, and then we come up to a conclusion, okay? Now, the first question is, what are we managing? Okay. When we say a retail store, what is a retail store? What is it about? And what it concerns with? For decades, retailers have focused on managing products, okay? Because it was small markets, small shops, very ordinary shops, and very few products. There is no competition, very few competitors, and and easy way. That's why retailers have focused on managing products, how to deliver products from the factory or from the wholesaler to the customer. So that's the only issue that they're concerned about, delivering the product from the wholesaler to the customers. Uh, that's the importance of buying logistics, getting goods to store, and merchandising store layout. Okay? Now, uh, that was before, that was decades ago. But now, because of the expansion and the expansion in competition, the expansion in market, the expansion uh, in shopping centers, things has been changed. Instead of focusing only on managing products, they began to focus on customers instead. Because as retail industries began to expand and more competition, so retailers became strategic in how they manage operations. Operations means how they manage customers, how they manage competitors, how they manage the, the, the place, the workplace, how they manage the sales rep, the market employees, how they manage the sources. So retailers became strategic in how they manage operations, differentiating retail offering by improving a customer experience in the store. So they would concentrate on studying the customers, his identity, his age, his sex, male, female, his culture, his education, his purchasing power. All this would affect his decision in buying or not to buy any products. Shift in focus from product to customers. This put us in a title of modern retail stores. How would be the modern retail stores? Okay? It's 30, it's 360-degree change and shift from the old fashion of retailing to the modern retail store. As it's written here, Book 2, actual management implication and how retailer not only managing products but also the workforce and the customers. Providing additional services associated with product sales and create unique customer experience. Management strategy for staff should ensure a good customer experience, retaining customers, how to keep your customer to be your customer for long time, how to keep him come back again and again and again to buy from you, from your shop again and again. So management strategy for staff should ensure a good customer experience, that your staff should be eligible to analyze and to study the customers and retain them for the future. What do you think are the most important skills to manage the store? Okay, this is a good question. What do you think are the most important skills to manage the stores? Now, what kind of skills that staff in the retail store should have? Okay, the important skills to manage the stores is about organizing the stuff, organizing the stock and the store, make decisions, communicate with the staff, motivate the staff, and be self-motivated and be a good leader. Whatever size of retail operation, is it big, small, management, management and product and workforce, uh, what counts is to succeed by delivering right customer experience. They all based on uh, delivering right customer experience. Okay. And here are some skills of the store managers. Managers rules, which is organizing human resource or staff, employees, and physical aspects of the store, such as stock, an effective way to meet strategic and tactical objectives. To make sure that products are in stock, available anytime, and there is no time to be spent between the in delivering the goods or the products to the customers. For this, managers need skills such as ability to make decisions, build teams, communicate, and take an overview of wider impact of changes on stores. Considering impact of change at local level and respond to any reaction to the change. These are some skills of the store managers. And we have four types of skills for retail managers. He needs to have administrative skills, and he needs to have decisional skills, in particular problem solving, and he needs to have communication skills, and also, or finally, he needs to have motivation skills. Okay? And let's discuss all of these one by one. But before I would, because now Maghrib pray and I'm fasting, I would take my breakfast and pray Maghrib. So I would give you a break time for, let's say, 15 to 20 minutes. So we can pray Maghrib and come back again. Okay, 15 to 20 minutes. So you take break now, and I come back after 15 to 20 minutes to continue our subject. Okay. Yes, come back now. Uh, okay, these types of skills retail managers needs: administrative skills, decisional skills, mainly how to solve problems, and communication skills, and then motivation skills. And we will see what all this about. When we say administrative skills, we mean skills of planning, skills of organizing events in advance. As you know now, most of shopping centers, they they make events to attract people, to attract shoppers to come and make their shopping from this shopping center. So events now become very familiar and very important to motivate shopping. Uh, Also, administrative skills include having sufficient and appropriate merchandise. Okay? He should have skills of planning the goods that he needs in sufficient quantity and good quality. Appropriate merchandise means that match the customer's needs. Plan stock requirements in order to make the goods available all the time, and also frequent replenishment, order on time. Manage workforce as well, manage the store itself, the condition of the store, the decoration, how the colors, how it attracts customers to come inside and look at the goods available, and able to delegate specific tasks to his groups, his assistants. Also, skills of monitoring compliance, check that instructions have been understood by his staff and implemented correctly also by his staff. Administrative elements are in most parts of a retail manager's role. These elements that we discuss, which is administrative skills, are the most parts of a retail manager's roles. Okay? Second thing, decisional skills, which mainly in analyzing, in consider the problems when it raise, and analyze it, analyze the causes, and try to have solutions to solve these problems. And he should have the key problems. Now here we have 5 key problem solving skills in retail management. He should have the skill of judgment by taking appropriate decisions and conclusion using available information resources. He should get all data, all information linked with the problems and analyze it. He should have analytical skills to analyze the problems and the items to be considered as causing the problem, and put the solutions, parts of solutions together to solve the problem and make a fair judgment on it. Problem analysis is important skills to solve the problem based on problem analysis, which means identifying source of problems and assess their natural and scope. Third, decision making, which is select most appropriate option from a range of choices. Innovation as well. Innovation as well. Think outside the box. تفكير خارج الصندوق and identify new ways to solve old problems. Creativity, which means being aware of what is happening in store all the time, in sectors, watching for changes, respond and formulate general management principles. Third, skills, which good to for managers of retail stores, communication skills. He should know and he should have the skills of sending and receiving messages. Sending and receiving messages, and to be effective and to be understanding has to occur between sender and receiver of the messages. To be effective, understanding has to occur between sender and receiver of the message. In retailing, internal communication can take place on all levels. For example, down and up communication. Down and up communications for superior and subordinator communications. Four key skills a manager needs to communicate effectively. First is actively listening. He should be a good listener. Interpreting messages. The right interpretation. Participate in a dialogue when communicating with small groups of staff or customers. He should be able to present ideas in a clear and appropriate manner, and he should have effective writing skills. We have four types of communication: verbal or oral, which is face-to-face; live online, discussion; tutor group, discussion; verbally, in one place, face-to-face; or written communication, which needs to have handouts, skills, lecture notes, books, and also visual, to see videos, posters, PowerPoint presentations. Then verbal, which is body language, skills of moving the hands, eyes, showing the face language, body language, change the place, standing, moving. Okay. We have various barriers to communication. One barrier is poor communication, when messages when messages are not clear or not understandable, vague message, all this leads to confusion because it's poor communication. So it should be strong and rich communication, should be clear, should be understandable. Information processing, we process and interpret messages and then we store them in a memory for later use. We store them in memory for later use. This information has to be filtered and block things that are not meaningful to us. So we select selective distortion when shaping information to fit our existing experiences and beliefs. So also selective retention, only remembering messages that fit our existing experience and beliefs. Okay? So we select the messages that to be stored in memory for later use in the future, near future or long future. Communication structures, as organizations grow, gaps can occur in lines of communications. And the gap should not be widened, should be closed. Motivational skills, they should have the motivational skills, how to motivate people, because motivation are important when managing a retail operation, because the working hours is beyond the official working hours, and the retail business open during the weekend as well. So employees who work in the stores should be motivated. It encourages and guides workforce toward achievement of common goals. Also, matching the right person to right job. We put the right person in the right place and making that job as interesting as possible through motivation. So if the person is not motivated enough, he wouldn't be interested to continue in that position. Clear link between effective staff management and high levels of job satisfaction and loyalty, because motivation would cause loyalty from the employees to the employer. When we talk about motivation, we have here a theory of Maslow hierarchical needs. Maslow link needs of humans to way they behave, which has 5 categories of needs. According to Maslow hierarchical needs, we have 5 categories from the basic level to top level. We start with physiological needs, which is the basic needs that human needs, such as eating food, drink, living in a room, accommodation. Okay, so laborers in the lowest level, the only thing interested to them is food and lounge, breakfast, lunch, dinner, sleep in a bed, Okay? They don't think of anything other than this. They don't think that they would need to go to the club or to the cinema. No, they don't think of that. Human beings start with physiological needs in the lowest level. And then at the upper level, they start to think of security, which means they need to feel that they are safe, which means they ask for job security. They wouldn't work under the sun heat. They wouldn't work under a risky environment, hassles. So they ask for security. Okay, when you go up in upper level, people there would ask for social needs. Of course, you cannot meet the social needs unless you have the physiological needs to be met and security needs to be met as well. And then you move to social needs. Social needs means that you need to live in a society. You need to make friendship with your colleagues. You need to feel that you belong to a society. You belong to a group of people, friends, neighborhood. And when you go upper level, you find that they need esteem or status, which make valuable contribution to a group and being recognized as having done so, such as appreciation or thank letters, such as showing this appreciation in a ceremony, in an event, before the groups, in front of his friends, his colleagues. This would make him feel that he has esteem or status. And in the highest level, managers, directors, they need to feel of self-fulfillment, which is self-fulfillment needs. To develop our fullest potentials, physical and social needs met, we are then motivated by higher level factors such as creativity or autonomy in job. Like he would be interested in having a good car, a good house. He would take his kids to international schools. So this self-fulfillment needs. Okay, they don't accept normal schools. They want international schools, high expensive schools. They won't accept normal car. They would demand for a good car. Okay, the appearance, the good appearance. Okay, here is Maslow hierarchy of needs. Show the progression of motivating factors, starting with in the lowest level physiological needs, and then security, and then social needs. These three main needs for a human being, and then we go up with status and self-fulfillment needs. Maslow presented his idea about motivation as pyramid or hierarchy as shown in this figure. Low-level needs have to be satisfied before then individual will be motivated to pursue next level needs. So we start with physiological. If it's been met, We go up to security. If it's been met, go up with social, to social. If this not been met, we would not move to the upper level. We stay here until social needs been met. And then we go to status needs, self-fulfillment needs. Okay? Friedrich Herzberg motivation theory has divided the needs into two main groups. The first group, these three levels, first group, which is hygiene factors, and then these two levels, which are motivators factors. Okay? So he divided the needs, the same five categories. He divided them into two. He put the first three together and call it hygiene factors, and then he put the two in upper level and call motivators. So Friedrich Herzberg were connected to job environment, hygiene factors, which is the basic needs. These factors include pay, working conditions, company policies, and physical work environment. If hygiene factors are poor, workers are dissatisfied with their job and suffer from demotivation. Okay? Especially in these three basic levels. If they are not good, if they don't feel that they are secure enough, or socially in a group, socially met, or physiological basic needs to be met, they wouldn't be satisfied with their job, and they consider themselves as demotivations. The job is demotivated. This is the story of success. It needs taking action, solid foundation, don't quit, right approach, commitment, clear objectives, well-defined goals, self-rise. It's the road to success, starting with setting objectives appropriate to the skill level of the individual should allow achievement of goals and increase responsibility, creating interesting and challenging work. All this considered as the road of success. Max Broger theory X and Y, he also divided people into two groups. Group of X, he called theory X, and group of Y, he called theory of Y. Okay, what is theory X means? Theory X, he consider people or individuals are lazy. They don't like works. They don't like to go to work. They most likely wants to stay home, sleep. They are lazy. So they don't. These individuals avoid work, and without intervention by management, workforce resists. So they don't have workforce. So these people who are lazy, they should be pushed to go to work. Otherwise, they wouldn't work. They have to be pushed. They have to be rewards, and they have even to be punished. Okay. Management style for this group is called authoritarian. Okay? While theory Y, in the other end, they expect individuals, they like to take responsibility, and managers seek organizational conditions and method so people can best achieve their goals by directing their effort toward organizational objectives. They like job, they like to take responsibility, but they want to be shown, or they want to match their interest with the organization interest. That's all. So the motivation for first group is different from motivation for the second group. The first group has to be pushed, punished, and rewarded with the basic needs. The other group, they need self-esteem, they need high level of motivation because they like responsibility, they like the job. Just to match the organizational interest with individuals' interest. That's why we come up with job design. Has to be socio-technical approach to job design, which give equal attention to design of tasks as to needs of people. Now, has to be equal. Now, the amount of tasks should be the same amount of rewards in terms of salary, in terms of benefits, in terms of motivation. Huckman and Oldham scholars, they define job design as a job characteristic model to enhance feelings of responsibility, and employees' job needs to involve freedom, autonomy, and choice on how it is carried out. When all three of these are present, employees feel outcomes are a result of own efforts and thus personal responsibility. So we come up with psychological contract between the employee and the employer, between retail manager and staff. What is psychological contract? From a formal point of view, it's written job contract, setting out terms and conditions. In addition, implicit unwritten understanding both parties have of each other psychological contract, because which is not written in the contract, what I am as employee, what I'm expecting from the employer, to respect me, to appreciate my effort, to say thanks, to say sorry when he make mistake toward me, and what the employer in return expect from the employee in terms of loyalty, in terms of coming on time, in terms of give all his effort. So this to be considered as psychological contract between both parties. A retail manager might expect that people come to work on time and are appropriately dressed. So if employee doesn't come on time, or if he doesn't dress appropriately, this means he's facing unexpected or he's behind the manager expectation. Employees expect safe working as well. In terms of employees, they expect, like the employer expects something from the employees, also employees expect something from the employer, such as safe working environment with no discrimination in terms of recruitments, not because rich or poor, not because male or female, not because educated and not educated. So it should be equal options and equal treatment, no discrimination in terms of recruitment and promotion. If psychological contract is broken by either party, by the employee or the employer, there is likely to be a negative impact on job satisfaction. The employer wouldn't be satisfied with the employee and vice versa. And on commitment of employee to the organization, the same, from employer and from employee toward each other. So the conclusion for this chapter is management approaches of workforce are evolving with ever-changing environments. In retail sector, there is high staff turnover. Why? Because of low wages, because of long working hours, because of poor working conditions. Okay? This is in general. They face a problem of high staff turnover. Not in all retail organizations, but in most of them, because we have some prestigious retail organizations which consider the human motivation in high level, such as Mark Spencer or these marks like Christian Dior's, like Mercedes retail shop. So retailers has to make decisions under human resource management umbrella. Here in Saudi Arabia, under the rule of labor office الخدمة المدنية أو وزارة الموارد البشرية أو قانون العمل العمال. Retailer has to make decisions under human resource ministries or umbrella. Working patterns change. Example, opening hours, Sundays. They should have a pattern how to compensate people or workers when they work on holidays or weekend. And they should not work as opening hours. That's part-timer, less job security, technology is changing nature of the work and organizational structure. Okay, I think this is the last slides. Do you have any question? Any question? I just want to remind you that Thursday, 8th of October, you will have the first LMS activity or online activity on Thursday, 8th of October at 1 o'clock p.m. Just after afternoon, 1 o'clock p.m. for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and you will have 10 questions of multiple choice questions covering book 1, session 2, 3, 4. Okay, clear? Please do not miss this activity because you will lose 14 marks. 14 marks, and there is no makeup activity. It's clear, no makeup activities. So please make sure that you will attend this activity. Okay? No question? 1 o'clock, yes. Tariq, Ziad, yes, 1 o'clock. Yasin, yes, 2, 3, 4. On LMS, yes. Okay, no question? Okay, thank you very much and see you next week. And I wish you good luck. Wish you good luck all.